Hi there, Joel and Teresa and Tri-County team. I'm Joe Ty from Values Coach, and I am really excited about working with you over the next year. We're going to do a lot of fun, a lot of important, a lot of exciting things together, beginning this week with all of you receiving the book, The Florence Prescription, which is about moving from a culture of accountability toward a culture of ownership. And it's a very important way for us to start for a couple reasons. One, it's a fun story that everybody at every level of the organization can relate to. Two, it introduces the concept of invisible architecture. Because when you build a building, you put down a foundation, you put up a superstructure, you finish it off with carpeting and wallpaper. And what so often happens is we say, we're done. And you move in the same old culture, the same old attitudes. You've raised everybody's expectations, given them the same old experience, and the gap gets even bigger between expectations and experience. So we're going to talk about how do you create what we call a cultural blueprint for your invisible architecture of core values and organizational culture and attitude in the workplace. And the most important way to start is with the certificate of commitment for the Florence Challenge that you're going to get and all of your people are going to get, and I'm going to ask you to sign and post. And it asks you to make 3 commitments, the 3 non-negotiable personal commitments for a culture of ownership. 1 is to be emotionally positive, 2 is to be self-empowered, and 3 is to be fully engaged. And for each one of those, we're going to give you tools for how you personally embrace those things and how you help your people embrace those things, beginning with being emotionally positive. We're going to share with you the Pickle Challenge and the Pickle Pledge. It's a very simple promise, and there's a chapter in the Florence book about it. It says, I will turn every complaint into either a blessing or a constructive suggestion. And I'm going to show you how life-changing that can be and how profoundly impactful that can be on the culture of your organization. Oh, by the way, it's an awful lot of fun if you take it to heart. Second element, self-empowered. We're going to share the self-empowerment pledge. 7 simple promises, 1 for each day of the week. We're going to give all of you a set of wristbands so that you can make those promises to yourself. We have seen people do amazing things when they internalize this commitment to being personally responsible, accountable to themselves, determined to do the things they're afraid to do. We have seen people quit smoking, lose weight. In one case, even break a tenacious drug addiction, a story that got written up in a Chicken Soup for the Soul book. We've seen people apply to graduate school, something they've been putting off. People write books. You're going to see the same thing. People are going to empower themselves and stop waiting for someone else to give them empowerment. And it's going to have an impact on your overall organization. Oh, by the way, a lot of people take these things home and share it with their kids and help their kids be more successful and happier. And the third element is being fully engaged, and that gets to personal values. And I'm going to work with you on creating an authentic statement of values for your organization, something that's very important. But underpinning that are the values that we all hold at a personal level. And I'm going to share with you our course on the 12 core action values and a workbook called These Are Your Values, because they are. From authenticity, core action value number 1, through leadership, number 12, these are the values that we all aspire to. We have had, we've worked with organizations from Alaska to Florida and everywhere in between. We have had some incredible success stories, and we've had some program of the month where you wouldn't have known we'd have been there a year later. And I want to tell you what the number 1 best predictor of highly successful initiative versus program of the month is, and that is the enthusiastic engagement and commitment of the management team. When we see managers who are excited about it, who appreciate the benefit that their people can get, when they appreciate how it's going to help them be a better leader, we see incredible success stories. When we see managers going, oh, another initiative we have to do, I'm pretty sure I can tell right up front this is going to be a program of the month. I do not want you guys to be a program of the month. I want to be able to, years from now, talk about you as an incredible success story, but it's really going to depend upon you. And I want to say a special word about the emotional vampires, the pickle suckers, the people who think they're so highly evolved they don't need this, the ones who are going to be rolling their eyes. You'll have a few, everybody does. It is absolutely a leadership responsibility. If I come to work for you, I want to work hard. I want to have fun at work. I want to have joy at work. And you, as a manager, you allow the negative, toxic pickle suckers to deprive me of that joy, that inspiration, to go home at the end of the day feeling like I've been beat up instead of like I've been uplifted. You're not doing an important part of your job. And you know, for those people who think they're so highly evolved they don't need this, maybe that's true. I certainly am not. But you cannot allow them to deprive other people of the benefits of going through this course and of embracing these values. That's really an important part of what your role, your obligation is going to be in this work that we're going to do together. You know, we've worked with hundreds of organizations. I've learned a lot about changing culture. And this is the single most important lesson, a guiding insight behind all the work that we do. And that is that culture does not change unless and until people change. Culture changes one person, one attitude at a time. People will not change unless you give them new tools, a new approach, and inspire them to use those. And that's really what we're going to be doing. We're going to be helping you change your culture, one person, one attitude at a time. I got a letter a couple years ago from the CEO of a critical access hospital in Nebraska, Paul Udemark. He said, I got a whole new team and didn't have to change the people because they changed themselves. And I've come to see that as being the gold standard of culture change. It happened for Fillmore County Hospital in Nebraska. We've seen it happen at Children's Hospital of New Orleans, at Midland Health in Texas. We're going to see it happen with you. And someday you're going to be so proud of what you've accomplished. And I'm going to be proud to be talking about what you've accomplished, what we have done together. I'll see you soon.